In American politics, you have the elephants.
I'm Newt Gingrich, and I'm announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
The donkeys.
I will be a candidate for re-election in 2012. And I'm going to need each and every one of you to get involved.
And then there are those dark horses.
At this moment, I'm officially announcing that I am a candidate for president.
The ones that, in the past, were such a long shot, not even the U.S. media was willing to take a bet.
Another question about electability. Do you have any, sir? There's always the question as to whether or not you are, in fact, viable.
As the race for 2012 gears up, does a third-party candidate really have what it takes to cross the finish line? If history indicates anything, the answer is no. From Ross Perot to Ralph Nader and even billionaire Steve Forbes, no third-party candidate has made it to #1. In 1988, the candidate, a familiar face.
Congressman Paul, I should say, Ron, you're running for the presidency of the United States now.
Ron Paul ran on the platforms of non-interventionism, restructuring of the federal budget, and a return to the gold standard. Bold ideas for someone running on tough conservative turf.
I, George Herbert Walker Bush, do solemnly swear.
4 years later,
just this year, we ran up $341 billion in new debt.
Billionaire businessman Ross Perot took center stage, wanting to set the record straight on U.S. debt.
That's our legislators and our president trying to buy our vote this year with what used to be our money. We're not that dumb.
Even though Ross Perot didn't win, he was the most successful dark horse to ever run. Perot tried again in 1996, but there was a new third-party face in the mix. Ralph Nader. With that enthusiasm, Nader Nation was born. His hatred for big government earned him the Green Party ticket.
Think of the hubris here. These two parties have spoiled our elections. They've spoiled our government. They've spoiled our politics.
Making him a popular contender, but not a champion. Neither was Steve Forbes. But he did forever change the third-party approach to presidential races. Using $37 million of his own, he made it so that money was no object for candidates running outside the well-oiled two-party system. But no amount of money could buy Steve Forbes or Ralph Nader the White House that year.
And defend the Constitution of the United States.
In 2000, both Nader and Forbes were back running. This time, Nader became known as the spoiler, who paved the way for a George W. Bush victory. Jump forward to 2008, a decade after his first presidential run. Ron Paul stepped back into the limelight.
Are you running for president?
Yes, I am.
With the Tea Party joining his stride and the political landscape changing, his stance remained steadfast. But America wasn't ready to hear his message.
You know, during the campaign before, I talked about the economic crisis that nobody quite understood was coming, and then the housing bubble burst. And I think that gave us credibility.
So with 2012 right around the corner, can Ron Paul make his third run for presidency a charm? If his ability to raise $1 million in one day is any indication, plus the fact that he's now running as a Republican, perhaps Americans finally are ready to bet on him. Megan Lopez, RT.